Hey guys, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today I'm going to talk about some serious stuff. I think it's kind of serious anyway. It's not too serious, but it's a little serious. It's all in how you look at it. We're going to talk about why I try to wrangle these damn snakes. We're going to talk about haters. You're going to run into haters, especially doing this. You know, and haters come in several different shapes and sizes when you do this job. But you can't let them bother you too much. As a matter of fact, let haters help you. What I mean is, you know, you're going to have the internet haters. You're going to have some of the groups, some of the forums. The forums aren't as bad as some of the Facebook groups that have been out there. You're going to have haters in that. You're going to have, you know, online haters in general. You're going to have friends who are haters, or people you like, but they're going to hate what you do and say you're crazy and your animals are gross and disgusting and why would anybody want a snake and the only good snake is a dead snake and all of this. I'm going to tell you something about them haters. Probably have some haters in your family even that just don't understand why you'd want to do what it is we do. And you can do two things. One, you can get mad, you can let them get you down, you can let them make you feel like crap. I don't like doing that. I'm a pretty happy guy. I would rather use them for motivation. So when I get that hater, and you're going to get a hater, or 2, or 3, or 12. You know, I always put snakes in the video, but they never cooperate. I want to have some eye candy hanging out in there, and these eye candies have a point, but they're just not working with me too well. Gotta fly. But what I like to do with those haters is I put that in the back of my mind, like this little burning coal. It just sits down there kind of in my mind or my stomach, wherever you want to proverbially put it. And it just sits there and it burns and it burns and it burns. And I remember those people that are my haters. I remember those people that say, you'll never do that. You'll never get there. You'll never be able to make that. Well, you can't, you know, you shouldn't have that many snakes. Only good snake's a dead snake. I remember all those people. And the reason I remember them is because I have this drive where I want to prove them all wrong. So for me, they're a motivating factor. I start saying, okay, I'm going to smile at you, and I'm going to say, you know, ha ha ha. I'm going to laugh with you. Then I'm going to come back here in a year. I'm going to prove your ass wrong. You know, I'm going to show you and show other people how great of a pet these can be. I'm going to show you that you can be successful breeding ball pythons. I'm going to show you that you can enjoy this hobby and be good at it. I'm going to show you that I can do that. And I love my haters. I love them. Because just like the people who are behind me motivate me, people who are against me motivate me too. Because there's nothing better than kind of getting to come back and smile again and say, oh, look what I've done. When you know they said you couldn't do it. Some of them do it to your face, some of them say it behind your back. But it doesn't matter. You know who your haters are. And my challenge to you is use them to motivate you. When you bring something like this back, like, oh, look what I made. Look, I'm making my own snakes now. These are both my own production. And they can't say much. When they see it's working, whether they like it or not, that you're enjoying yourself, you're having a blast, you're making your own animals. You know, if you're like kind of where we're at now, it took us several years to get there, but our own animal production supports our own hobby. How cool is that? You know, I can pay for my snakes by the snakes I make. It's pretty successful, I think. We put these guys back up. And, you know, the potential is obviously there to even make some extra income at one point in time, or one day, as this continues to grow. Do I want to do that? Yep. Is it because I'm money hungry and greedy? Nope. One of the reasons why I do want to make a profit is because I want to be able to tell all those haters to stick it right up their ass. Look, you can make money doing this. And I know I can feel a little shit-eating grin on my face right now, and I'm probably swearing a little more in this video than I normally do, but it's kind of something that it is. It's a driving force. To prove those haters wrong is just, there is nothing sweeter than serving them that piece of humble pie. So, that may be a character flaw in me, but I'm going to take that character flaw, I'm going to put it to good use as I do that. And you can do that too. Don't let those people get you down. Don't let them do it. You're going to run into them. And you're going to run into more than you think. If you're just getting started, you're going to hear it all the time. You know, people, the only good snake's a dead snake. I hear that all the time. And I also hear reptile people who respond back, especially online, with, oh, the only good dog's a dead dog or something like that. Don't do that. Don't feed those trolls. And the reason I say that is, I love my dogs too, you know, and most reptile people do, and they're just trying to say that to show that person how absurd their statement about snakes are. But you're not going to teach that person that says that. All you can do to teach them is show them. Like, when you do what they're saying that you can't do, and when you do what they're saying isn't possible and that nobody else likes, but yet you do it, and then you can show them you're doing it, then you can change them. Then you can change their mind. But when you jump at them and respond in kind to the, you know, the crap, the drivel and the crap that they're saying because they're ignorant about what we do, all you're going to do is make them shut down, and they're going to dig their heels in the sand, and you're going to dig your heels in the sand. You ain't going to get anywhere. But we have to be, even with our haters, you know, whether it's your personal hater or a hater to reptiles in general, because there's both, we have to kind of be good to them in a little bit of a way. Kind of that whole kill them with kindness thing. Now, with your personal haters, you treat your personal haters however you want. Like I say, that's my motivation. People that hate reptiles, they don't motivate me that much. They motivate me to change their mind. And the way I'm going to change their mind, and I've done it with some of them, not all, some of them you can't change, is they may hate it, yet they always see me talking about it. And they always see me talking positive about it. They always see me having fun with it. And they always hear, like, you know, talking about all these great things I'm doing and how much I love what I do. And, you know, eventually they're going to get curious. They're going to want to see what is this all about. And when you get them to see, well, what's this all about, then you can change their mind. I've had reptile haters who turn into customers of mine. Okay, so it can be done. So motivation for them should be to change them, and don't fight with them. Just constantly show how excited you are, and just let that enthusiasm blow out, and you're gonna flip some of those folks. And then you're a personal hater. Take that personal hater and just indulge yourself, and know that when you get to where you want to be, they didn't stop you, and you can make them bite it. And that is great. I love that. And it's not just even the snakes. I know camera guy Kurt, you know, we talked about doing this video, because we talked about this before we do it. And half the time we don't. Half the time we just get a camera out and we film a few things and we move on with our day. But we kind of talked about, man, do we really want to do a video on haters? And I thought, let's go ahead and do it. And Kurt mentioned that, you know, he's like, one thing he didn't expect is, because as our partnership, mine and Kurt's kind of formed, what really ended up happening is we kind of each took our own part of what we did. And where I work most of the snake stuff, you know, the vast majority of it, he helps out a lot of it. Feed day is a 2-day job because we're writing stuff down and taking notes while we're feeding. You know, but the day-to-day cleaning and litter changes and water checks and all of that, and monitoring and picking most of the pairings, most of that falls on me. Where when we were doing all that rat breeding, and now we're doing all of our rat breeding in the shop, you know, all that kind of falls on Kurt. He does almost all the litter changing with the rats. You know, he knows his rats, genetics, who's producing, who's not producing, you know, like what we need to switch out, what we need to do, where our production's at, and all of that. Like, so, you know, he kind of works the warm-blooded, and I kind of work the cold-blooded. And when he first started doing that and getting into it, man, Kurt was excited. And I know you guys don't see Kurt that much because he's usually behind the big black eye that's filming me. But Kurt doesn't get excited about much. At least he doesn't show it. If you want to see Kurt excited, you know, send him a message about a cave you found or something like that, because a guy loves caves. And then I saw that same enthusiasm with Kurt about rats. Kurt would come home, you know, and he'd tell me, hey, you know, I'm doing this, or I read this, and we're going to do this, I'm going to build this, and this is what the rats are doing. And there was this really genuine excitement that I just don't see from Kurt. Kurt's like usually really flat line. Like, you know, he could be in an earthquake and he's calm, cool, and collected. You know, it could be the best day or the worst day and you cannot tell. But with the rats, I could tell. Like, he was emotionally invested. And yet, so he is wanting to share this with, you know, his family, his friends, anybody he knows. And what did he get? Haters. Oh, rats are disgusting. Oh, rats are gross. Oh, they caused the Black Plague and killed half of Europe. They really didn't. It was parasites. But anyway, it kind of kicked him in the balls a little bit because he wasn't expecting haters on the rodents because he thought, hey, here's this thing that's so cool, and everybody's telling him he's crazy. So he did kind of the same thing that I did. He kind of said, you know what? Hey, I'll show you. He did. He went and started rocking it out and kept that enjoyment, kept that fire with it despite the haters. And then some of the people that thought he was crazy, I'm guessing your sister was one, am I right?
Yeah.
Had to look around the camera. Guess what she was doing like 6 months later? She was in there helping him with the rats because she kind of got excited about it and it kind of became cool. And it was neat watching these things be born and grow up and all of these things. And so he was flipping those haters, But Kurt, when you first had those haters, you were here, you're just on cloud nine, so excited. As he's getting his first litters and then he's seeing it grow, he's like, I got this, I can do this. And you run into those haters. How'd you feel?
Oh, it made me feel down and kind of doubt like what I was doing, but I knew what I was doing was cool and I enjoyed it, so it didn't matter what they thought about it.
Exactly. And then when he kept that enthusiasm, trust me, anybody that knows Kurt knows he's pretty. So when they kept seeing that enthusiasm out of him, there's no way not to get curious. Hell, I got curious. I'm like, oh, I gotta see what the hell's going on in there because I never see Kurt this excited. Every time I'd go upstairs in the archery shop, we had him in the attic of the old archery shop he had. He's at a new archery shop now, so now they're at our shop. But every time I'd go up in there, he'd always have something new he was excited about to show me. And so, he really did the same thing. He punched those haters right in the gut and just kept doing what he was doing. And that is what I'm going to challenge you to do. When you have those personal haters, just plow through and you're going to flip some of them. And the ones you don't flip, piss on them. Leave them in your wake. It doesn't matter. You do what you want to do. And that applies to reptiles. It applies to rodents. It applies to anything. I don't care if you're into VW bugs. I'm not a bug guy. Some guys are. If you're into VW bugs, be into VW bugs. Screw the haters. It doesn't matter. Just put your head down and grind. And if you keep doing it, you start to have these amazing things. Like this guy. I love this guy. And these are nothing special. If you're in the reptile hobby, you know how easy these are to get nowadays. He's bananas, but I think he's beautiful. So I wanted to show him off a little bit today. If I would have let the haters own me, I wouldn't have these pretty animals. I wouldn't have this enjoyment. I wouldn't have any of this. But instead I owned the haters. And I kept doing what I wanted to do. And because of it, I have a life I enjoy, a hobby I enjoy. I get to work on it all the time with my best friend. I have a girlfriend who supports it in Question Girl and sees my enthusiasm and just knows that she's going to let me keep doing it and knows that this is going to be our future for a very long time. I don't know how big it'll grow, but it's always going to be a part of what we do. And the people I surround myself now with personally are all either supportive of it or once were against it, but have now come around and said, yeah, look at what you're doing. You're doing these great things. And they look at you and they see how happy you are in life. They can't argue with it. So be who you are. And again, don't sweat the haters. Use them to motivate. Kurt, you got any questions?
Nope.
All right, guys. This is, a little more serious tone than we do a lot of times, but I've had a lot of support from you guys out there, and that support motivates me. And I've had a lot of haters early on, and boy, they motivate me too, because there's nothing better than flipping a hater who hates reptiles to loving them, or taking a hater who just thinks that you personally can't do it, and making them see you can, and making them suck it up, and like just leaving them in your wake. That is the best thing ever. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.